All right, so today we're not going to be talking about the letter because this is a preface to it, right? The letter that I sent, I never sent it to my parents, right? We have it here, we have the papers. I never sent the letter to my parents that said, you people suck and I don't want to see you anymore. But it's not even really a letter. I read it. And I kind of knew, ooh, this is gonna tip. And I kind of knew it was not a letter. I keep mentioning it as a letter, but it's not addressed dear whatever, and here's what you. It wasn't. It's third person. It's first person. This is what happened. Is there even first person here? There's a lot of third person stuff. Well, there's some. I was no more than 4 years old, but it's not. Yeah, my mother, etc. Right? That sort of thing. Or my father. Right. It's an account I would read to other people. It's not an account that I would hand in as a letter. So part of it is like, okay, what's up with that, right? It's not a letter. Well, we'll talk about that, but I kind of knew what's the point of telling them, you know? They're never going to get it, right? And it was recommended by the book, this one that we mentioned a million times, the blue one. Whoop. By Susan. It kind of gets it flipped, I think, but we'll just say Toxic Parent, Susan 4. There we go. This one, right? And it was recommended that you write a letter, but I didn't quite write a letter, did I now? And I kind of knew what's the point, you know? This was in December of 2006, and all the more reason that we can wait a few more days until I actually read it and do more commentary on it. But this is what I want to talk about. Not the only thing, but this is the big thing. You know, it's at least a great start. And, right. Oh, yeah, it does have watermarks. I kind of took these notes. I didn't have any pen or paper. Well, I had some paper. I didn't have any pens. So I just did this. And, yeah, but if you see the book, it's, well, you probably can't pick it up here. But it's wet because I read it in the tub back 2006. Got a little humidity. I don't think I dropped it in, but... So that it's in that book that it's recommended, hey, if you want to break from your parents or tell them that they're bags of shit, then go write a letter to them. Well, again, we'll talk about that more, but I never really wrote them a letter then, I guess. It was never really for them because I knew they were hopeless. All right, so it was kind of cringe. That was one of the first notes I said. It was kind of cringe. Emotional rape. Yeah, well, you know, I don't know. I was 21 when I wrote this, just turned 21, 21. So it's like, okay, all right, fine. But there were a lot of good points in there. I did read through it again. Every couple of years I read through this. It's like, no, I got some good points in there. You know, I got some great points in there, and we can talk about it ad infinitum some other time, right? This is the preface to the letter, you know. Drinking is good. Now, I'm not really drunk. I drank, you know, let's see. Does it pick up? There's a wine bottle. You can see that. But I did not drink the full thing, right? Just maybe a little bit. What would count as a glass of wine. And what I always like to do, because I'm not much of a wine drinker, I did water it down with some club soda. So 2 liters of club soda. And I'm not drinking water, right, from the bathtub faucet here. But 2 liters of club soda with... you know, basically a glass worth of wine. And not like a small, right. And it adds a little bit of flavor, you know, and it gets things going. But I don't, you know, I've said I started drinking a little bit again, and that's not a lie, right? And I used to drink an ass load, then I didn't drink it all, then I started drinking, and that's all good. It's all good. I don't need to drink massive amounts to start thinking about these things and to put it out to the world. Again, I think if I seem a bit drunk, it's just this is really hot water here, right? It's a nice warm. Maybe we could do this with some tea and see what happens, right? Maybe some other time. Some hot tea or something. We can't water that down, but a big bucket of hot tea. I got just the, what do you call it? I got, what, a gallon jug for the, no, doesn't matter. We'll figure it out. What's my point? I don't need to drink that much anymore. It does help. And maybe that's just the kick in the ass I need to just be a little bit loose, not too much. I don't need to be I'd certainly, again, I used to drink, I remember when I was writing Guerrero originally. So this is one bottle of wine. I did 2, at least. That was kind of the plateau I reached, or whatever equivalent in beer and everything. That was just like, and that's what I needed then. Because even though I didn't put a lot of emotional stuff into Guerrero, it was inherently emotional to just put this stuff out there. And so this is progress. It is quite progress to be able to talk about these things. And I'm feeling pretty good about this. I'm fairly certain before the year's over, it's what, midpoint, December, who knows, it's December 16th, who cares, It's freezing outside, by the way. It's Houston area. This is the second freeze of the year. Second freeze brought in the plants. Doesn't matter. Now let's do some daily stuff. That's always fun. The repair guy was here. Was going to put the blinds on successfully. Fix a couple other little things that have always bothered me. The stairs are kind of loose. I put those what do you call it? Those, not stickers, but so you don't fall. What do you call it? The tape. I did a video on it. I could do that, but there's a lot of the rotten post means it kind of swings out a lot. And I said, hey, what's a cheap way of fixing this? So he'll fix that. The garage gutter, there's a rotten screw in, or the wood behind it was rotten, so it always just pools the water. Fine. That'll get fixed. And oh yeah, the windowsill in the kitchen. That'll get fixed. And again, it's one of those things where, he's like, yeah, we'll have to use some enamel paint or something. So, because if you put stuff there, it gets wet, and that's one of the reasons, and something low reflective. And it's like, I can't figure this stuff out. Like, maybe you could get me to, I've painted before, but it's like, just to get the right thing, and yeah, no, just leave me alone. Just get the professionals for this, right? So that's it with the day stuff, Thought it was good too. I guess it wasn't as lively as yesterday. But the point is, yeah, I'm finally getting to the point, 14 years later, again, this is not math club, but I believe it is 14, 2006. Plus 14 is 2020. So a little over 14 years, because this was December 6th, I want to say. Let's get the papers. I did put down I just put December 2000. I'm sure it's about the 6th. It doesn't matter. 14 years. So I think we'll get this out there before the end of the year. And again, the letter was never, as it turns out, intended for my parents, because what a hopeless fucking case, and a couple other things. It was easy at the time for me to say, oh, well, I'm not making that much money, and I wasn't then. Oh, well, I don't want to burn all my bridges, and well, but I looked around, and who could I read this letter to? Because it's not really a letter for my parents, it's for anybody else. But there really wasn't anybody that you could read this letter to. And there probably isn't now, but I guess here we go. So, not now, but later. So I kind of like it here as well, when the neighbor's not too loud. And it's like, what, 2:34. Okay, so the neighbor's not going to be loud, for sure. Yeah, it's I'm sure if it was loud, but I was engaged in this. And again, just a little bit from our friend here. That'd be fine, it's just, again, it's just like with a fan, and how do you, it's just bullshit. It's easier to get distracted with those things than to say, no, this is the stuff we want to do right here. Whoop, right there. Right, that's the stuff. And yeah, it's been 14 years, I have wanted to talk about these things, but when's the right opportunity, right? Well, I guess, again, not right now, but soon. Very soon. And again, we've waited 14 years for this. So another couple days, whatever. And I like doing the fluffy stuff. What did I do yesterday? About sauna, right. Okay, I like that. Sometimes there's not amazing amount of brilliance that comes out of me, and that's fine. And again, I like doing these every day because it kind of forces me. It's like, I got to do something, and even if it's just bullshit stuff, well, all right, let's do that. And then every once in a while, we just inch closer to the good stuff, the real stuff, the letter stuff that's not really a letter, or not at least to the people that you think it'd be to. So yeah, 10 minutes. Yeah, so yeah, I guess that's it. Do I have any final comments here? We went through, yeah, not reading it today, that's for sure. Not really a letter, more of a, I guess, open letter to the world of this is my, these are the tales of my woes, and, you know. Do people get this? Am I seeing the same thing? Am I the only one seeing it? Am I crazy? Or is everyone else? I was recommended by the book to write it. And again, where's a place where you can show up and talk about the book? This book, or, you know, a couple other ones too, or the letter. Now you can add, does it exist? No, that sucks. Yeah, bookmark. Yeah, it's wet. I read it in the tub. Now, I might have told this story before, but on some of these books I still have, I might find one or two. I have blue book covers. I repurposed book covers from when I was still going into high school. I had a couple scraps left. And I said, ooh, I want to hide these books. That's not on this one. It was these book covers, these blue book covers. It covered the title, covered the back, right? Because I also read these at the park and near my apartment. I still live near my parents. I was like, well, what if they show up? Again, a bit paranoid, and once we read the letter, we might see where I get that from. But I just was like, no, I can't talk. But that's not false, is it? Can you just say, hey, everybody in my life, that's all wonderful. Let's talk about my toxic bear. Yeah, you can't do that. That's the problem. It's not just the shitty parents, is it now? Of course not. Sort of cringe. Let's give a preview of the cringe. Again, we talk about emotional rape. Let's see here. Right. What? Are my eyes weird? Or okay. Maybe the printers? Okay. Okay, I don't know. It doesn't really matter. Well, alright. So any cringe here? Well, there's some cringe in here. I wouldn't have written this, but again, it's like, okay, I obviously want to write this now because, you know, but it's good to see what I wrote then, and a lot of the stuff is still true here, you know. Let's see here. Right. Ooh, I call them dedicated monsters. I kind of agree with that. I don't even think that's too histrionic here. But there's some interesting stuff in here. So that's it. And drinking, yeah, a little bit. Again, I'm so glad I don't have to drink that much anymore. You know, I could do 2 years now without any drinking. And now that a lot of this heavy stuff is coming up, it's like, all right, just a little bit, just that much. And we'll water it down just a little bit and that's fine. So that's good. Everything is good. Everything is slowly like, you know, a glacier moving towards where it needs to be. And yeah, that's it. So maybe I really do want to get this in before the end of the year. I don't think that's a firm deadline, but it just feels like it's time. You know, it just feels like it's time. So anyways, that's it. And yeah.